Hey Lions faithful, Lions News Fan Report here. And if you're fired up about Detroit taking the next leap forward, smash that like button and subscribe now, because what I'm about to lay on you could redefine our entire season. Imagine the Roar Ford Field reaching a new decibel record as the Motor City welcomes arguably the fiercest pass rusher in today's NFL universe, T.J. Watt. Picture him stalking quarterbacks alongside Aiden Hutchinson, two relentless forces converging on the pocket like twin storms ready to unleash havoc. Could this be the seismic shift that catapults our defense into the upper echelon of the league? Let's set the scene. Last year, our defense flashed brilliance, but too often wilted under pressure, surrendering chunk plays when it mattered most, and watching opposing QBs scramble free when one big sack could have changed the entire narrative. Detroit's pass rush ranked outside the top 10, and despite Hutchinson's heroics, teams schemed around our edge threat, painting us as vulnerable. Now envision Watt, fresh off a season of holding out in Pittsburgh while making it clear he's seeking a new home, striding onto Ford Field's turf wearing the Honolulu blue. This isn't some pipe dream drafted by overzealous fans odds makers have put Detroit alarmingly close to the top of the board to land Watt, signaling that the front office is already eyeing an all-out push. Watt's resume reads like the script of a Hollywood thriller. Multiple Defensive Player of the Year honors, record-tying sack seasons, game-changing forced fumbles, and an uncanny knack for flipping momentum at the snap. His presence alone forces offenses to double-team, opening lanes for Hutchinson, Levi Wazurik, and everyone else desperate to carve their name into Lions lore. Could this be the missing piece that transforms our unit from opportunistic to downright terrifying? The mere thought of Watt and Hutchinson closing in from both sides has rival coaches losing sleep and scrambling to design quick-release schemes. Beyond the impact on the stat sheet, think of the locker room electricity, a veteran whose work ethic and intensity are the stuff of legend, pushing younger defenders to raise their game day in and day out. Imagine Trey Flowers or Malcolm Rodriguez finding renewed fire as they learn directly from one of football's greats. Could this infusion of leadership and elite talent be the catalyst that hardens our entire defense, forging a brotherhood built on shared blood, sweat, and tears? And here's the kicker. If Holmes pulls off this blockbuster, the ripple effect won't stop at our defensive line. Opponents will have to rethink game plans from snap to whistle, freeing up our secondary to play tighter coverage, daring quarterbacks to throw into the teeth of this reimagined Lions front. Could we see interceptions pile up as QBs abandon pocket poise, trying to evade the unrelenting pressure? As whispers turn to headlines and training camp approaches, one question looms larger than any preseason hype. What if T.J. Watt roars onto this field and changes everything forever? Stick with us, Detroit, because wherever this story goes next, you'll want front row seats to witness history in blue and silver, asterisk, if you believe the Lions are finally ready to roar. Hit that like, and let's finish what we started. Picture the electricity sweeping through Ford Field the instant the news breaks that T.J. Watt has donned Honolulu blue, an arrival so seismic that even the ghosts of great Lions defenses past would stir from their slumber. This isn't a mere addition. It's a declaration of intent that ripples through every corner of Motor City. We're talking about a veteran who shattered sack records, forced turnovers at will, and played every snap like it was the final play of the season. Now imagine that force unleashed alongside Aiden Hutchinson, weaving chaos into every huddle, every screwdriver blitz, every late-game stand. Could this union recalibrate Detroit's identity, turning a unit once labeled underdogs into the standard-bearer for defensive dominance across the league? Think back to the 1957 Purple People, Eaters, or the feral edge rushers of the 1970s teams, whose pass rush became legend and whose names echoed long after the final whistle. That's the blueprint Holmes and Campbell are chasing, and Watt's hypothetical touchdown in Detroit would align us squarely with that lore. Remember how, in 1991, Chris Spielman's bone-crunching hits transformed our attitude on defense? Watt brings that, and more in intensity, that lifts locker room morale and intimidates opponents before the huddle even forms. Envision the ripple effect. Second and third down conversions collapsing under relentless pressure. Turnovers skyrocketing as quarterbacks flush from the pocket into waiting jaws. And a secondary emboldened to play tighter coverage because they know the edge is sealed shut. Asterisk. The symphony of roars that would erupt at Ford Field once Watt's signature hits the ticker is more than celebratory noise. It's the heartbeat of a city that's weathered disappointments for decades. Imagine the families decked in blue and silver, their voices joining in a chorus so thunderous it drowns out the doubt that's lingered in the air since the Barry Sanders days. This signing wouldn't just rewrite stat sheets. It would rewrite the narrative of a franchise that deserves its place among the NFL's elite. In the meeting rooms of rival general managers, Detroit would become the measuring stick, the yardstick, against which every defensive unit gauges its own ambition. When legends tell stories of pass rush duos that changed the game, they'd start with the names of T.J. Watt and Aiden Hutchinson, two lions whose claws would leave an indelible mark on every opponent. For the players already in that locker room, the impact transcends X's and O's. Think of Hutchinson, eyes gleaming as he trains shoulder to shoulder with a man whose championship pedigree is unmatched, soaking up wisdom that only a four-time Pro Bowler can impart. Picture the rookies trembling with excitement as they lace up beside a future Hall of Famer, each rep under Watt's watchful gaze, forging a bond stronger than steel. In practice drills, you'd hear the chorus of grunts and collisions amplified by the gravity of playing like a lion means never backing down, a creed resurrected by this monumental addition. And when the season kicks off, that bond will translate into game day ferocity, the kind that flips the momentum in a heartbeat and sends shockwaves across the league. For the fans, this move is more than wins and losses, it's redemption for decades of near misses, heartaches, and what-if Sundays. Recall the anguish of the NFC Championship game in 1992, when a single late hit might have rewritten our franchise history. Now imagine that moment reversed with Watt's strip sack. In slushy December weather at Lambeau, triggering a wave of jubilation that sweeps across Detroit like a tidal wave. Social media would ignite, barstools would quake, and blue and silver flags would unfurl from Woodward Avenue to the banks of the Detroit River. Could a single signing heal old wounds and rekindle faith in a team that's long yearned for a defining moment? On a broader scale, adding Watt changes the calculus of the entire NFC North. Minnesota's clockwork offense suddenly confronts an immovable object. Chicago's vaunted run game grinds to a halt when Watt and Hutchinson collapse gaps with surgical precision. Green Bay's aerial assault feels the weight of two defenders whose mere presence demands constant attention. And as the Lions' record climbs, the narrative shifts. Detroit is not a team to surprise opponents, but a juggernaut to fear, week in and week out. If this fantasy deal crystallizes, we're not just talking playoffs, we're talking establishing a defensive dynasty that echoes through the ages. So here we stand on the brink of possibility. Lions Kingdom with a tantalizing what-if. That could launch us into the annals of NFL greatness. The countdown to training camp has never felt so urgent, because if Watt's roar truly joins ours, the Detroit Lions will unleash a tempest unlike anything this franchise has ever seen, and you'll want to be here to witness every sack, every forced fumble, every moment history is made in blue and silver.